Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Continuing to see cold, mostly cloudy to overcast conditions with temperatures in the mid 20s right now and seeing slightly breezy conditions as well across the snow covered ground. We did measure the official measurement at Wallops was at 6.4 inches, and points north saw in the 3 to 5 inch range, and points south in the 6 to possibly some spots up to 10 inches. So decent snowfall around the area over the last 24 hours, and as we move through the day today, could see a chance of a few flurries or light snow, but most likely just seeing cloudy conditions, and we'll see the breeze really ramping up as we get later in the day today. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, have an area of low pressure off the coast that brought that snow activity into the region. We're going to see that continue to move eastward and out of the region. We have some upper level energy that's going to move over the area as we move through the remainder of the day. That's going to bring that slight chance of a few flurries or light snow shower around the area. Not expecting much in the way of accumulation with that, and we'll see breezy conditions picking up behind that. And as we move into the weekend, we'll see this area of low pressure building over the region. And that's going to quiet things down, and we'll start to see some milder temperatures as we get towards the end of the weekend and into next week. If we take a look at the upper level winds this morning, seeing some northeasterly winds near the surface becoming westerly to southwesterly as we move up through the column. Our peak wind today was 76 knots at 25,000 feet, and the freezing level this morning was at the surface. Take a look at the current visible satellite and composite reflectivity. We did see a brief break in the clouds earlier this morning, but those clouds have since filled back in over the area, and we do have some light radar returns off to the west. Again, that's going to be that chance of maybe some light flurries, maybe a light shower pushing through the area, mainly as we get into the afternoon time frame. But again, just about 30% chance of that occurring, and not expecting much impact for that, as it will be light and not accumulating as we move through the day today. If we look at the high resolution model, see what we can expect as we move through the day today. Again, cloudy conditions continuing. We'll see slightly breezy conditions continue as well, and staying cold as we move through the day. We'll see here on the model simulating some light radar returns moving through the Delmarva area as we move through the afternoon hours. That's that slight chance of maybe a light flurry or light shower passing through. Otherwise, as we go into the evening, that chance will diminish, and we'll see those winds start to really crank up. Likely seeing a wind advisory as we get into the later afternoon, and continuing to see breezy conditions as we move through the overnight time frame, as we'll start to see some of those clouds breaking, becoming partly cloudy as we get into the start of the day on Friday. Friday, we'll see plenty of sunshine. We'll still be on the cold side. We'll likely see temperatures breaking the freezing point, though, but we will see some breezy conditions continuing, with a good chance of seeing a wind advisory as we move through the day on Friday. But again, moving towards mostly clear skies as we move through Friday into the overnight time frame, as well as into the day on Saturday. If we zoom out here, look at the longer term forecast, we'll see that high pressure starts to build in over the region as we move into the second part of the weekend. Not expecting any precipitation as we move through the weekend, and should go into a fairly decent period of some quiet weather as we move towards the end of the weekend and into the beginning of next week. We will start to see some more mild temperatures building in as we get into the start of the next work week, with temperatures getting up at or above 50 degrees as we move through the first part of the week. We will see a fairly weak upper level shortwave moving into the area as we get into late Tuesday, early Wednesday morning. That will bring a slight chance of maybe a few showers into the area for the late PM time frame of Tuesday into the early AM time frame of Wednesday. As you can see here, model indicating some rain showers around the area. A bit far out to really narrow that down, but that chance will be there. That will likely be our next possible chance of any precipitation moving through the area, but overall seeing some quiet conditions as we move through the next several days. So if we take a look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we do have green conditions as we move through our morning hours, expecting our high temperature around 30 degrees today. We'll see those clouds sticking around as we move through the afternoon, and just a slight chance, again about 20 to 30% chance of some light snow or light flurries as that upper level low drifts over the local area, so we keep a yellow risk for that precip chance there. Otherwise, we will see those winds ramping up out of the northwest, 12 to 17 knots, gusting up to 28 knots as we get into the later afternoon. So we do keep that red risk for winds that are above 25 knots, as we do expect. We will see a wind advisory later today, and we'll continue to see those winds elevated as we move into the evening time frame. Those winds, peak winds, will drop down slightly with the northwest wind 10 to 15 knots, gusting up to 25 knots as we move through the overnight and early morning time frame of Friday. That's going to keep temperatures from bottoming out, but still looking very cold, as we'll see our low temperature around 21 degrees for Friday morning. Overall, with those cold temperatures and breezy conditions, we'll also see wind chill values quite low, pretty much staying in the teens as we move through the day today, and as we go through the overnight time frame, we'll see those wind chill values in the low teens and upper single digits. So we do pick up that orange risk for those low wind chill values as we pass the 20 local time frame, up to a red risk as we get past the midnight time frame and continuing through the morning hours. And we do drop down to an orange risk for that wind advisory threat as we move through the overnight and early morning hours of tomorrow. Overall, could see a ceiling develop around 3,000 feet this afternoon, and then we'll see those clouds starting to break with just a few bay streamers as we move through the morning hours tomorrow, with those breezy winds over the local waterways. Seeing slightly below normal tides at this time. Tomorrow we'll see a quieter day with precip, not expecting any precip, and more sun. Partly cloudy early, becoming mostly sunny. We will see breezy conditions through the day tomorrow, so do keep an orange risk for winds that are above 25 knots, so decent chance of seeing a wind advisory for tomorrow as well. And we'll see those wind chill values staying in the upper teens early, and then becoming, increasing to the 20s as we get into the afternoon, with our actual high temperature of 37 degrees. So good chance of seeing a wind advisory for our Friday, and then we'll move into some quiet weather as we move into the weekend. Mostly clear Friday night with a slight breeze early on, and we'll see cold conditions once again with a low around 20 degrees with green conditions for our weather risk. And then we'll see mostly sunny conditions to start the day on Saturday, expecting our high temperature around 40 degrees, and we'll see a weak upper level disturbance moving through that's just going to bring some additional clouds, so becoming partly cloudy to mostly cloudy as we get later in the day on Saturday and more so into the overnight time frame. Looking at the extended forecast here, those clouds clear out as we get into Sunday. We'll see those temperatures climbing back into the mid-40s for our high. And then as we go into our next work week, we'll see overall mostly partly cloudy conditions. We'll see high temperatures getting into the 50s. Our low temperatures will stay at or above freezing for the first half of the week. We'll see increased clouds on Tuesday with that slight chance of some rain moving in for the PM time frame and early morning time frame of Wednesday. It looks to be about a 20% chance at this time. Could see that increase as we get closer to that time period, but for now that looks to be our next best chance of seeing any precip in the local area. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.